Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is August the 16th, 2024, and today the topic is humble authority. Happy Friday. It's Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Thursday. Mine was just fine. Yes, mine was good overall. Highlights from yesterday. I had a good old conversation with Pastor Mo. Ended up getting some prayer and whatnot as well. I got encouraged and inspired and everything like that. So shout out to Pastor Mo for taking out the time to listen and to pour into me yesterday and things of that nature. It's greatly appreciated to be seen and feel valued and things of that nature. Yeah, and actually, I would say that that conversation is part of today's inspiration for today's topic of humble authority. Um, because I don't know how much I told y'all already, but long story short, I mean, I've been just pretty much dealing with this whole thing of, is this too good to be true, right? Is there like things happening in my life where I'm like, or some like when good things are happening, it's like, you know, n- negative thoughts try to come into my heart and mind about those things, and it's kind of like, is it too good to be true? Is something going to happen? Is the other shoe going to fall? All those different types of thoughts. And so I've been feeling that way. You know, I would just, without going too deep or what, I've been feeling that way about my job or whatever the case may be. Because again, man, I feel like I was divinely placed and to do the things I'm doing over there at Mountain West Church. It's been a blessing. It was right on time, exactly what I needed. Last year when it fell into my lap, it was exactly what I needed. And even today, I still feel blessed and things of that nature. But then little things have been happening. Y'all know crazy things have been happening all year. Ever since that, Christmas Eve, that I know y'all like, oh, here she go. But ever since that hit and run on Christmas Eve last year, it seemed like things just kept happening back to back to back to back. And yes, there was things that was happening even at the job and things like that. And you know, and so when those things happen, it's like, man, is there something about to happen? Lord, are you preparing me? Are you letting me know that, my time's up here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like trying to figure out what it is. Um, and so I guess, again, having a conversation or whatnot and just being out open and honest. Like I was being open and honest with, the pastor about, some of my own issues and things I've been dealing with and how I receive things and stuff like that. And how it brings up these doubts and fears. And so he kind of set my heart and mind at ease with, again, the feedback that he gave me. But regardless of that, and regardless of having that seal of approval, right, I still need to remain humble, right? I still need to, again, give glory and honor to where glory and honor is due. Respect different people in their different positions, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to do that. I find that interesting because I think I told y'all the other day. I think it was Wednesday, right, that we had a all staff meeting, and the speaker that came and talked to us was talking about honor and whatnot. And I found it to be interesting because I want to say a few months ago, I feel like we talked about honor, right? But regardless of hearing, someone else speak about it again or whatever, it was talking about, the gentleman was talking about the importance of, not only honoring up, but then honoring those on our same level as well as honoring those below, right? And I know the Bible talks about that. It talks about, no respecter of persons and things of that nature, right? So I shouldn't treat nobody no different. Like I should, and I try my best to live like that, right? Like I try my best to whoever it is, it doesn't matter if they're quote unquote under me, if they're on my same level, or if they're higher. I try my best to treat everybody with respect, right? Um, and so I guess I'm just here to remind us all of that today, right? Let us all, you can walk into, the authority, right? Because, for example, okay, so some things I've been dealing with, like as I've been trying to combat that feeling of inadequacy, right? That feeling of, oh, am I not worthy of this or that? I try to combat that with, nah, man, at the end of the day, I am beautifully and wonderfully made. I am a child of God. I am divinely placed here and things of that nature, right? But at the same time, we can do that so much to where we puff ourselves up, right? We get the big head thinking that we more than what we are. So we need that healthy balance, and who better to get that from Jesus Christ, right? He was a healthy balance of authority, but at the same time, humility, right? And so that's pretty much what this conversation is about today. That's where the inspiration came from. We might as well go ahead and really get into it because I mean, your girl done pretty much set it up, right? But yeah, like that's where it pretty much came from. One thing that stood out to me, I think it was also again that another, part of that conversation of Wednesday at the all staff meeting. It gave me a different perspective of the phrase "turn the other cheek." I think we hear that and we often think like, meek, or we often think like we think of those things as weak, right? When we hear somebody say turn the other cheek, we're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, who wants to do that? They hit you on one and then you saying hit the other. But I got a whole new perspective of that this week. And so turning the other cheek should more so, instead of being looked at as like a sign of weakness to say, hey, you hit me here, yeah, go ahead and hit me again. It's like looking someone dead in their, like if they hit you, right? It's like looking them dead in their face to know that, hey, at the end of the day, I am a human. I am beautifully and wonderfully made. And if you want to treat me like this, then go forth and move forward, and like looking them dead in the eye, to almost in a like I dare you to do it again vibes. And it ain't like, again, it ain't saying that, but that's the way I took it this week when I heard it. It was like, staying in that position to say, I am a human here. You know what I'm saying? I am, your brother or sister, whether you want to see that or not. We are all a part of the human race. And if you can treat someone like that to, knock them down or whatever the case may be, then you're gonna have to do it again with me looking in your face and knowing that how evil and wicked you have to be to do that type of thing. Like really, I mean, can you guys picture that, man? Like how much like the authority in that, man, like and then even the humility of that to say, man, you know what, you slapped me and you did that, but you know what, I am still standing. I'm going to still stand strong. I'm going to still stand in my God-given right and authority as a human being. And if you do it again, you have to do it again. Not looking at me, not catching me from behind or something like that. You're gonna have to look in my face and do it again. Like I don't know if y'all are receiving what I'm trying to give it to you. I'm trying to give it to you the way I received it. But like that was so encouraging and so like inspiring to know like that's what turning the other cheek is. It's not just being like, oh, woe is me, you hit me and now here hit again. No, it's you hit me and now you're gonna have, if you're gonna hit me again, that's fine, but you're gonna hit me in my face, to my face, not behind my back, not nothing like that. You're gonna look me dead in the face. And like the only other thing I can do to explain it, y'all, is if you saw The Chosen, it's just like what he was saying about, when someone have you go a mile, go the extra mile, and you and the way that situation happened in The Chosen. Like that's the way I picture this situation to be. Like if somebody is oppressing you and things of that nature, like do what they ask, like go the mile, because in that scene in Chosen and in the biblical reference, I mean there's this all this stuff going on, but they talked about how I guess Roman soldiers would make the people carry their things and stuff like that. So they carried it 1 mile, and so Jesus said to carry it an additional mile. um and as they was doing that second mile, those guards was like humbling themselves to say, you know what, this ain't right. You know what I mean? Like this ain't right that we're doing this. And ultimately, they ended up taking the things back from the individuals that they had carrying the first mile. Like there's something so powerful about that. I hope you received it this morning, man. I hope that you truly received it. Like you don't have to look at humility as this weak thing. It's not. It's not. Like think about how powerful, God was to come down, humble himself, make himself a part of his creation, and to do all this just for us. Like, he did not have to do it. Like, can we put that on the table, friends? That always make me feel some way, knowing that, man, God, you didn't have to do it. You did not have to at all. You could have just let it all fall. You could have just let it all go away. Like, you could have just let the world burn and moved on and did something else and created something else. But no, you humbled yourself to come down, be beaten, ridiculed, mentally abused, all kinds of stuff by your own creation, just to make a way for me and for anybody else that decides to believe, right? And like, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. It's a lesson in humility. It's a lesson in authority as well. And that's what we're talking about today. Let's go ahead and get into some Bible. Because like I said, I could sit here and just be talking. So let me go and tell y'all what I felt led to write down this morning. So the first thing I felt led to write down was Philippians 2, 5 and 8. It says, have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who though he was in the form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men, and becoming obedient to the point of death. And then it even wraps it up to say, even death on a cross. Man, like, can y'all hear the power in that, man? Like, being God, he humbled himself to become a man, to not even consider the idea of being equal to God. Like, are y'all hearing that today? Is that encouraging and inspiring to y'all? I don't know, but it is to me. Like, to know that, okay, you are God, right? Like, I can say, like, not you, but I'm just trying to say, if you could try to put ourselves in our shoes one day, or like how about this? Okay, let's try to have a practical thing, right? Because I know even the gentleman brought this up the other day, right? He was talking about how he saw one of our executive pastors taking out the trash, and how, amazed, and how, I guess proud he was of that gentleman. Like, again, you're the boss of a place, right? And instead of looking at the situation like, oh yes, I'm the boss, do what I say, you're down there with your staff, you're down there with your people, getting it done, the daily things, or the, you know what I mean? Like, it's like that, that's on our level. But again, on the God level, that's a whole nother thing. Again, he's God. He come down, became a man, became one of his own creations. Therefore, not for anything of his own, it's for us, making a way for us. But anyway, here's another verse that was standing out to me this morning. Romans 12 and 3. It says, for by the grace given to me, I say to everyone among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think with sober judgment, each according to the measure of faith that God has assigned. Again, like, we often puff ourselves up, man. And like I said, I mean, I had to find balance with this as well. Because like I said, as I was trying to combat those thoughts of you're not inadequate, you're unworthy, I'm trying to combat with this. Nah, man, at the end of the day, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a leader. I can do this. You know what I'm saying? I do this. You know what I mean? But even so, it's like still humbling myself to know that, hey, I am not the boss of the church, for example. You know what I'm saying? I am not the highest authority. Like, at Miracle Plays, I might be one of the top. You know what I'm saying? I say the Lord is over me, but outside of that, like, at Miracle Plays, I'm running Miracle Plays. You know what I'm saying? Like so. I'm a quote unquote authority in that situation. But when it comes to the church, I would say low on the totem pole. Like, I don't even see about, like, I know they consider me able to be a leader, X, Y, and Z, but outside of that, like, I'm probably one of the lowest of leaders. You know what I'm saying? and I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with that, right? Now I do feel like I might be being called for more, and that's fine. Whatever the Lord want to do, but even in that, I gotta stay. You know what I'm saying? Humble at the end of the day. Like, I gotta understand that God put me here. Like, I did not, like, I gotta humbly say that at the end of the day, I was divinely placed to do what I'm doing right now. And if God wants me to do more, he gonna do it. It ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So, just things to think about, y'all. Like, again, like, let us not think more of ourselves than we should. Like, let's always, I guess, put other people above ourselves. Things of that nature. I know that's hard to do. We don't want to do that. That might be Pope. But I mean, and again, because sometimes it's like we go to extreme. We do that and then we make ourselves like we dirt or nothing. And that is not accurate information either, right? And one of the things I love that Pastor Mo poured into me yesterday, which just was a good reminder that, hey, at the end of the day, let's remember what the truth is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do not have to believe the lie of the enemy. You are not nothing. God made you. You are somebody, right? You are beautifully and wonderfully made. So don't think that you're nothing, but at the same time, don't think that you're God. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a nice happy medium of what you are. You are a child of God. You know what I'm saying? You can walk in authority. You can know that, hey, I have gifts, I have talents, I have things that God has given me and things of that nature to do whatever it is that he wants you to do. But at the same time, again, giving the glory and honor to who it belongs to at the end of the day. Like, that'll keep you humble. Just keep God on your heart and mind. Keep it at the forefront of your heart and mind. And that should keep us humble today. I believe so. But let me give you guys another verse. I think it is. I think I got one more. If not, we're going to move on to some steps. So, yeah. I'm going to move on to some steps, speaking of. So, yeah, here are some steps to help us stay humble, y'all. Again, we can have authority. You can have any type of authority, but have a humble authority. Have a Christ-like authority, right? And so here are some things that we can do some steps to remain humble, okay? One, recognize your dependence on God. Like I said, keep that first and foremost in your heart and mind. Dependence on the Lord. Like, as I was dealing with some stuff before I had the meeting yesterday. And I had got some information, and I ain't gonna lie. Like I said, I was frustrated again. I was like, see, I started off, it was good, and then I got this news, now I'm frustrated again. You know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I just kept praying. I just kept praying. I was like, Lord, you know how I'm feeling right now. And at the end of the day, hey, your will be done. I'm not going to even worry about it. I'm going to give it to you, because at the end of the day, if this is it, fine. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you put me here anyway. If you want me gone, I'll be gone. You know what I mean? Like, I was really just humbling myself to pray and just throw all my cares and all my concerns and stuff like that to the Lord. And I said, I know I'm about to get ready to have this meeting with the pastor. I don't want to go in with my, you know what I'm saying, preconceived notions about all the crap that's going on, you know what I'm saying, and then go in there and just, go off or something like that. I say, Lord, help me, give me wisdom, you know what I'm saying, give me the words to say, give me, you know what I mean, like, I'm just praying, and all of that stuff, I believe, truly, truly helps. So again, keeping God first and understanding that we need to be dependent on him. The second thing is to listen more than you speak, friends. I know, a lot of times we just be trying to get our thoughts out. And don't get me wrong, it's nice to, again, speak up for yourself and things like that. Use your voice, right? But at the same time, the Bible is very clear that we need to be listening more than we speak. So again, like, even in my situation, like, as I was humbling myself, I'm like, you know what? I feel some way, but let me go into this meeting as clear as possible. You know what I'm saying? Let me go into this meeting without, going in here and going off, or going in here and like going rah, 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 rah. Like, at the end of the day, let me listen. And at the end of the day, again, the pastor bestowed unto me some wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Even with the, conversation that I needed to have after that, I was like, you right. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, how could I have received that if I did not listen? So, yeah, friend. Look, things be happening. I think things keep happening to me because I'm sharing it with y'all, and God want me to share this with y'all. Like, I feel like that's why all this crazy stuff keep happening. Because every time something crazy happens, it's something to share to y'all. So, I mean, I don't know, but anyway, here's another step of what we can do. Be aware of your weaknesses. Again, I've been very open and honest about the things I'm struggling with. I struggle with critiques. I think I told y'all that multiple times. I struggle with that because, again, I dealt with the situation where I was getting critiqued about every single thing. Everything about me was getting critiqued for over like a year that I was in that relationship. And so, I dealt with I'm dealing with PTSD of that. And that was however many years ago. 9-10 years ago, I don't know, and it's still affecting me to this day, or whatever the case may be. So, understanding what your weaknesses are, right? At the end of the day, again, I'm talking about these things in therapy. I was able to, express this to, those above me and things of that nature yesterday. And so, just being honest about your weaknesses, like that's very important. So yeah, be aware of your weaknesses. Avoiding comparison. I talk about this all the time as well, y'all. The comparison game will get you. Avoid comparison by any means necessary, man. At the end of the day, somebody else's journey is theirs and your journey is yours. Like, again, the sun and the moon, they both light. Like, at the end of the day, like, there's no comparison, right? Just let your life be your life, man. Just yeah. Anyway, cultivate gratitude. Yes, y'all. Stay thankful. At the end of the day, again, it was very interesting. When Pastor started off the meeting yesterday, he's just like, "How can we make this experience better for you or something like that?" And I was like, no, I'm thankful, man. I'm thankful for this job. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, the job itself. I enjoy it. Like this, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I am grateful and thankful for the job. And stuff like that. And so again, if you humble yourself, you'll be able to see like a plenty to be thankful for. Are you alive? Are you breathing? Do you have food? Do you have clothing? Do you have shelter? Like if you got these things, you know what I'm saying? You have plenty to be thankful for. Even if you just have life, you are have plenty to be thankful for. So yeah, let's cultivate gratitude. Be teachable, friends. Let's be teachable. I like it. Lord knows I've been working on this too. I've been saying again, y'all been knowing I've been having the issues with the business coach, and I've been like humbling myself to say, you know what, Miracles, look, let's be coachable right now. You done dealt with people that have not been coachable. You don't want to be one of those people. So I'm trying my best to be coachable, right? Be teachable. Practice self-awareness, friends. Yes, practicing self-awareness is also a step that we can take. So I hope that you guys are encouraged and inspired by hearing these steps and hearing what the Bible has to say. I'm leaving you guys with an exercise that you guys can do. I did put it in the Go Deeper section, but I'm going to go ahead and share it right now. Here is a practical exercise that we can do. You can call it your humility exercise, okay? So like I said, I was dealing with different thoughts. I was thinking about, like I said, as I was trying to build myself up, I was thinking about these thoughts of, like, you could do this and you can do that and you probably can do it better than this and better than that. You know what I'm saying? So instead of thinking those things, here's a practical exercise that we can do. When we get ready to think things like that, let's challenge ourselves to be humble by doing this exercise, okay? One, write down your thoughts. Write down whatever your thoughts are. Okay? Two, next to each one of those thoughts, write a Bible verse that counteracts that thought. So if you thinking, say for example, if I'm like, I'm all this, I'm all that, I'm a bag of chips, write that down. And then go write down the verse that says, do not bring, or whatever that verse is I shared a minute ago. The one that was like, do not count yourself. Where is it? Where's that verse? I think it's Romans 12:3. By the grace given to me, say to everyone, among you, not to think of himself more highly than you ought to think. Yeah, put that verse next to your thought of I'm all that in a bag of chips, okay? And then next, take each of the thoughts and ask yourself, is this thought aligned with God's word? Now, my thought of I'm all that in a bag of chips does not align with God's word to say, not to think of yourself more highly than you ought to think. So I need to humble myself to say, you know what, Lord, okay, I see that my thought is not in alignment with your word, right? And then last but not least, the exercise is to take where is it? Take a deep breath and pray. Right? So let's take a deep breath at that point and then pray, Lord, help me to get in alignment with you and your will. Help me to get in alignment to, for my thoughts to equal what your word says. Things of that nature. Hopefully this humility exercise will help us today, friends. Because that's the juice. That's the juice. Now the Bible verse of today is John 20:29. It says, Jesus saith unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. Friends, I hope you guys enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Don't forget, we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out tonight. It's with Brother, I'm going to say his name right, y'all. Brother Kenny Sachs, okay? He has this organization called Wipe Every Tear, and they are doing their best to fight different aspects of human trafficking. So let's learn more about him tonight at 7 p.m. on the GSL Talk Show. And yes, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.